When riding off-road dirt bikes, it's very rare that you're going to be riding on totally flat ground. Oftentimes, you're going to be riding uphills and downhills. One of the most common obstacles that takes away from riders' confidence is steep downhills. In this video, I'm going to share with you 4 of my favorite tips to help you gain more confidence downhills. And by the end of this episode, you're going to be able to navigate downhills with new skills that are going to help you improve both your stability and balance and your confidence to tackle new terrains. Stick around. Every time you climb up a big hill, you're often at some point or another going to find yourself coming back down the hill. The very first tip for downhills is stand up all the time. I'm much more adamant about standing up on downhills as opposed to the sitting technique on uphills, which can be referenced in our uphill video inside the premium membership. The reason being is that the sit down tip for uphills can be discretionary. There's certain times where you can, there's certain times where you need to stand back up. When we're talking about downhills, you should be standing up 100% of the time. Never sit down on a downhill. If you want to immediately jump from a sea level to an intermediate rider, stand up 100% of the time downhills, and you are going to experience so much more confidence and control. When you are in the standing position, keep in mind that you want to keep your weight back. It's going to be very easy for your body weight to feel like it wants to fall forward when you're navigating down hills. When we are in the attack position or the ready position on the motorcycle going downhill, one thing we want to be very concerned and critical about is our knee position. If your knees start to creep forward in front of your toes, that is a concern. That is an indicator that more of your body weight is now going to be pressed into the front of the motorcycle. On a downhill, that is especially concerning because we don't want any type of deflection to occur on the front end. We want to keep as much of our weight focused to the rear of the bike. This is going to be the single greatest thing that you can do to contribute to your confidence and stability going down hills. Many beginner riders approach a significant downhill and they are concerned. They're very worried about having confidence. They're very timid. The single thing that you can do to fix this is weight distribution. Stand up and get that weight towards the rear of the motorcycle. This is a great opportunity to talk about Chapter 1 inside our premium membership. At ridewiththeknights.com, we offer what we call a premium membership, where you can get access to all of our content, not just the training videos we share here on YouTube, but our complete library of hundreds of different training videos teaching every single thing that we've learned about off-road dirt bikes. We teach step by step exactly how to achieve the attack position and get the most confidence and performance from your off-road riding experience. Head over to ridewiththeknights.com today, sign up for our $19.99 a month premium membership, gain access to all of these training videos, and start working directly with us inside our private community. The second tip for downhills to improve your confidence is to avoid rear tire skidding. It's very easy on downhills to skid. The reason being is oftentimes when you're going downhill, you're going to be applying the brakes. Anytime you skid the rear tire, it's very easy for the rear tire to step out of line from the front tire. Now, there are particular instances where utilizing this to your advantage to whip the rear end around a switchback or other obstacles, do the Scandinavian flick that you'll see mountain bikers do or enduro riders do. That's an advanced technique that can be done if you are very controlled with your skid. What I'm referring to in this tip is unintentional skidding, which could cause that rear tire to step too far out of line, incur an impact, an obstacle, or even high side going downhill. The proper technique is to modulate that braking power and avoid skidding, allow those knobbies and that tire to continue rolling under that resistance of the braking. Which leads us directly into tip number 3, which is to use both of your brakes simultaneously, your front brake combined with your rear brake. Be cautious of using too much front brake, as you don't want to have your front end knife or tuck, because going downhill you're going to have more weight on that front tire and it can be susceptible to knifing or tucking. Apply equal pressure to both the front brake and the rear brake in an effort to have the maximum braking power available. Avoid unintentional skidding, and just be cautious of how much pressure is on that front wheel. You can be very in tune to subtle feedback of what that front tire is doing. If it has really minor tucks and losses of traction, that's an indicator that you're right on the edge of how much braking power you can have on the front wheel. The 4th tip for downhills is to not be afraid to utilize your engine braking. 4 strokes are going to have a lot more engine braking than 2 strokes, but it's totally okay to select a gear where you're going to have that natural engine braking helping you slow down. A couple things to keep in mind with this. 1, it's okay for that engine braking to help you slow down. It's going to add to your overall braking power, which will help you maintain balance and confidence going downhill. Another sort of advanced thing to keep in mind is, as you're navigating downhill, sometimes it can be easy to pull in the clutch and just let that bike free spin and completely rely on the brakes. Certain moments it may be okay to do this, but for prolonged periods, you can become a little disconnected to where the engine really is in its RPMs and what gear you're in. And as soon as you let go of that clutch, you may find that you're in way too low of a gear where suddenly you have a heavy impact of engine braking, or you may find that you're in too high of a gear and you're not right in that meat of the power where you need for that next obstacle. The reason this is important is because oftentimes when you finally get to that point where you let out the clutch is usually at the bottom of the hill or right before another moment where you're going to need power to climb up or over another obstacle. You don't want any lapse or any gap in between where you know your RPMs are and where you need them to be. I always like to stay in tune with the engine and understand exactly where the RPMs are, so I never go very long letting the engine free spin. Downhills can be one of the single most intimidating obstacles. I remember when I was young in my riding career, downhills were seriously one of the most intimidating and scary things. Don't let them be. Head over to ridewiththeknights.com, sign up for our premium membership to unlock all of our training videos to help you get the most value from your off-road riding experience. Myself and the Ride with the Knights team, we work diligently every week to provide as much value as possible to help you get the most value and enjoyment from your off-road riding experience. That's it for my 4 downhill tips. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like these videos, and we'll see you in the next one.